sit over there?
Yeah. I just didn't know if I was too high up.
No, you're good. Just pull it a little closer to you. The closer, the better. And make sure it's pointed at your mouth more. Yeah.
Oh, there we go. All right.
You're good. Just some last minute adjustments here if you guys are joining us live. I know it's a Thursday afternoon and most of you guys have day jobs. We're just wandering around talking about wrestling. That's what we do, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, let me give you a little more volume there.
Maybe some people starting their Thirsty Thursday a little early.
That could be. That could be. All righty. Yeah, check your shot here. You good? Actually, I love. We have people that get on that couch and their feet can't touch the floor, and you're like the opposite. You're just like, yeah, I'm cool.
Yeah, getting real comfy.
Let's see. All right. I got a title. Booyah. Official. I don't know if you... There you go. Yeah, and you're this guy here. Cool. All right. And like I said, I mean, the biggest thing I want to talk about is the scholarship, of course, but we'll catch up on everything else going on.
Yeah,
with you.
for sure.
So we had you on, like, early fall, maybe?
It felt like
Whenever
forever ago.
Whenever PWI came out, I know.
Oh, I thought you meant like in the studio. But
No.
was,
Yeah, we haven't had you in here for well over a year.
Yeah, definitely.
So, all right. Hitting the record. I see a couple of you guys out there on Periscope. What's up? And we will do a share over on Facebook too while we're at it.
You can't even hook Instagram to this, right?
Not yet, unless I just like set up a phone and do it that way.
Yeah, they gotta find an update.
But
for
we
that.
we will update it. We will upload it to Instagram eventually.
Oh, sweet.
When we release all the rest of the main versions, this will also be up there.
Yeah.
I just want to throw this in Wrestling Mayhem show real quick. So the rest of everybody can see it.
I'm still digging this music, man.
Shouldn't be running still. You must be still on the back thing. Yeah, there's me now, right? You're probably caught up.
Yeah. I didn't close the window. That's why it was playing from before.
Oh, that's Sean. Why did I say Sean Phoenix? Something didn't update. Let me fix that one before we get going.
There you go.
What's up, Joseph, out there? Thanks for tuning in. No, not Sean Phoenix. We got PB Smooth in the studio. It just did an update from last night's show, apparently. So we're going to try to correct that right now. We'll click on that guy. This computer decides to do things. What's up, Joseph, out there? Thanks for tuning in. No, not Sean Phoenix. We got PB Smooth in the studio. It just did an update from last night. That's mine. That's mine. Okay, maybe I'm not updating.
I should have brought my saxophone. Could play a little something.
You know, we haven't had live music in the studio for a while. So
I'm going to have to do that one day.
Overdue. I think we have somebody scheduled to do it in May for we usually, it ends up on the Mindfulness podcast. He gets a lot of musicians on it. It's like, hey, bring a guitar if you want to play a song or something. So I've never had a wrestler come in and play music. That would be a first. Now I'm going to have to invite you back at least in the next 3 months to do that. We're like, so let's talk about your musical tastes. Let's talk about the Renaissance man, PB Smooth, for a moment. Basketball, pro wrestling, rap career that he's not going to tell me about.
I'm just
Saxophone.
Pootie Tang. Pootie Tang. What a towel.
Oh, jeez. All right. I got that there. I think we got all our chats covered here. All right, guys. Now we're going to get officially official.
Let's do it.
Recording. Hey guys, it is the Indy Mayhem Show. I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on the Twitter here in the Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, PA on this fine afternoon. There's light coming in the windows if you join us on video. But we got an exciting interview coming up here in a moment. But first, please go check out everything at Wrestling Mayhem Show, where you can find this, a lot of past interviews that we've done over the years for the Indy Mayhem Show, other great podcasts over at Wrestling Mayhem Show, of course, where we're talking with, and we have a lot of the guys from the Indies on as well to talk with them about what's going on and catch up with them there too. And of course, you can find a lot of the guys that we have and girls in action over on IndieWrestling.us and IndieWrestling.network, and today's guest is no exception to that. If you want to drop a line, questions for interviews that we have announced already, or if you have recommendations for people that we should have on the show, because frankly, we can't watch all the wrestling out there. And if there's anybody you think we really need to have a conversation with, please let us know by dropping us a line at goodtimes@wrestlingmayhemshow.com or 412-206-WMS0 is the hotline number, and you can leave a voicemail on there. And feel free to junk dial that too. We do encourage that over on the Wrestling Mayhem Show, just for funsies. So my guest this week is somebody who's been making moves. We had him last on in his, I believe, debut on the Pro Wrestling Illustrated 500, the PWI 500, a few months ago. And thankfully, you're coming through town, and you got some new news that we're going to talk about today. PB Smooth.
What's going on?
Back with us in studio.
Glad to be back.
Making our couch look small.
It's the comfy couch right here.
That's right. That's right. How you doing, man?
Pretty good. The drive wasn't too bad, a little snow here and there, but it's to be expected where we live.
You're hanging out in the area. You're used to that up there, especially even this weekend, right?
Yeah.
So we got a little bit of that. So,
definitely.
Speaking of this weekend, you had a big weekend of revenge, and we can catch up on that for a moment, though, because I know you've been making a lot of moves. I think since we've had you on, you had become the Revenge Pro champion up there.
Yeah, Revenge Heavyweight Championship was mine, and then Bill Collier decided to, I don't know how to describe what he did, but it's kind of weird when the teacher tries to beat up on the student. Mm-hmm. But it's all good, though. I'm going to run it up, I'm going to get it back, and I'm going to handle that when it's time to.
He had to change. The Momo mask still kind of creeps me out.
Yeah, it's really weird. I don't know why anyone would want to wear that mask, but, he's being a clown right now, and that's what clowns do. They wear masks.
So tell me a little bit about that, because of course you beat up some young kid people I don't think anybody's heard of called Wardlow for that championship initially.
Yeah, Wardlow was fun, man. He was one of the toughest matches I've ever had. He was a guy that I always wanted to wrestle against, because they always say he was the best big man in the Pennsylvania area, and I'm in the Pennsylvania area.
I say there's a lot of competition for that right now.
Yeah, there definitely is. You got me, you got Duke Davis and Gannon Jones. There's a lot going on right now. So,
I think I walked up to you once at a IWC show like over a year ago, and it was like, I think it was probably like you and Colby and the main event, and I'm just like, it's nice not being the tallest one at a wrestling show,
Yeah, we built like some real athletes out here, man.
Yeah, because I remember back in the day, like meeting Ray Rowe, and he just looked like just a giant, formidable guy. And I'm 6'4", know, and I walk up to him, I'm just like, how am I taller than Ray Rowe, right? That's like destroying people in there. But that's for me, But it's great to see like this, and it seems like Revenge, they like the big guys. I think like some of the indies are not maybe putting the big guys in those positions, but like the main event is always like, as I know Main Street Matt likes to call a hoss fight, it seems.
Yeah, Revenge loves up and coming talent.
Yeah. So
the guys that are about to blow, that haven't blown up yet, still want to get that good quality ring time, still work in front of a great fan base. They come to Revenge.
Absolutely.
So it's a great place to be.
So speaking of up that way, you're a grad of Mercyhurst.
Yeah.
Up there. And I understand there was some big news that came out this last week. We were sharing the article over on our social media from Go Erie, and I know I saw you on your social media. You signed in the papers and everything got set up. Tell us about this. So there's a PB Smooth scholarship now,
the
right?
PB provides scholarship.
Yeah.
So basically how it started was I always wanted to give back and do something for the community that has helped me out a lot. And it was always on my bucket list to do something like that, like when I signed a 6-figure contract, I'm going to donate such and such money here or there. And then it got to a point where I'm just like, why wait? Like tomorrow's not promised,
Yeah.
like none of us expected Kobe Bryant to die, but he did. So my thing is like, I want to start living the life I want to live now, as opposed to feeling like I'm chasing the dream. Like it's more like living the dream for me, and I want to be able to pass the torch and help other people, especially that look like me, get to where I am or where they want to go and stuff like that. And as you know, Twitter can be very toxic for everyone's mental health, and all I would see every day is just negative comments about wrestlers and how they don't know how to be good role models and this, that, and the third. So but all those things tied in just forced me to say, you know what, like I just want to go do it now, as opposed to waiting.
Has this been a long time coming, or like what, how long have you been working on this, getting this together?
Honestly, it all happened pretty fast.
Really?
I'd say within like 5 to 6 months, maybe.
Okay.
Because it was one of those things where I just wanted to act on it. Because like I keep a close circle of friends around me that I really trust, that have my back on certain things, and one of them's one of these girls that does my gear. Her name's Samantha, and we were talking about it one day, and she's like, "Just go do it." Like I have friends that I just do, where it's like impulsive in that way of like not waiting for the next day or being procrastinating and stuff like that. Because when you do that, you don't get anything done. So once she said that, I reached out to the contact I had that put me in contact with the guy that's head of financial aid over there. We met for lunch, and I told him what I wanted to do. He had to go over some logistical things with me, but for the most part, it was set in stone that we were going to do it, and then it just kind of went from there.
So tell me a little bit about what is the what are the qualifications for the scholarship? Tell me a little bit of background about that.
Yeah. So basically, I'm donating money to an incoming African American student that wants to go into the communication department, like I did. I went through communications for my undergrad. So right now we're just looking for somebody that fits that caliber, that wants to come into that department, because there's such a stigma on the communication major in general that I don't like. We live in this world now where people, they want to go for like just a doctor or like business or something that just has like a straight path, and life really isn't like that all the time. And we're missing out on a lot of people when it comes to good reading skills, good writing skills, being unbiased when delivering news and reporting and stuff like that. And it's because people are afraid or don't want to go into that department. So I feel like if we had more communication majors, it would make a huge impact. And it would also, a black communication major would help with the diversity at the school I went to. So
Absolutely.
I think it's going to make a big difference. So.
And I think when people hear communications, they think going into television, going into radio, right?
Yeah.
Like I know that's what I used to think when I would hear about Point Park's program, but it really is like it
So
is the
broad.
social media, it is the video, and we all basically have studios in our pocket at this point, right?
Yeah.
So it's a little more than that, and that helps you now with how you put yourself over in your wrestling career.
Absolutely. And it's such a broad thing that if you don't like one aspect of it, you can go into something else.
Yeah.
There are so many majors where you can't do that, because I have friends that make a lot of money, but they don't like their jobs. And I have friends that don't make as much money, but they're happy, and then eventually they will make that much money. So it's kind of like just opening people's eyes to the different possibilities out there. And it definitely helps me when even just reaching out to promoters, like having the right grammatical sentences and not sounding like I don't know what I'm talking about. It helps with negotiation. It helps with being professional and presentable. Like there's so many things, like when you have to sign a contract, you got to read it. You need to know the fine print. You need to know how to think critically. Like there's so much that goes into it that people don't realize, and it's just like getting skipped over in this generation.
And I know, and we talked about a little bit about your background on a previous episode, but to kind of recap, so you were going to communications. You obviously had kind of this line going with basketball at the time.
Yeah.
Was that just, for you at the time, was it an interest to get into communications, or did it just kind of make sense next to what you were doing in the sports world?
I've always had a passion for it, because when I was really young, my mom would make me read these books and write her book reports.
Oh, yeah.
Like I wasn't even in school, and she had me doing stuff like this. So my first passion was writing, and then I dipped into wanting to do journalism and whatnot. And then I ended up wanting to work in public relations, but basketball seemed like the dream at the time. So I kind of wanted to go for both of them. And I like where I'm at now in life, because everything I learned in communication and with my master's degree, it all applies to what I'm doing now. with wrestling and life in general. So it's great.
So that is interesting because I know a lot of people. I mean, there's that discussion of having a plan A, plan B when it comes to wrestling, but really the plan A can really enhance that plan, or the plan B can enhance the plan A with professional wrestling.
But at the same time, I don't even look at it like that.
No.
I just look
You're
at it
looking at holistically.
Yeah, there's so many things I want to do. Like, I don't believe in having a plan A, B, and C if this doesn't work, if that doesn't work. Because when you do that, just like Will Smith said in the interview, you distract yourself from plan A. You can't give yourself full focus if you're worried about, well, if this goes wrong.
Yeah.
Because you're already thinking in your mind, this isn't going to happen.
Or you have an end date or you have an expiration on plan A, right?
Yeah, and people always ask me, when are you going to make it in wrestling, or what year are you going to stop? I'm like, I'm going to do it till I don't want to do it anymore.
Exactly.
Like, I'm happy,
Yeah.
I'm still going to write a book at some point. I'm still going to do the scholarship like I just did. Like, all of those things are plan A. We're going to make plan A happen.
That's awesome. And it is important to look at. I mean, we're looking at guys in WWE that are making it now and have been around for 15, 20 years in some cases.
Yeah, the rules don't apply anymore.
I would say no. It's not like 5 years and let's hope. And those lucky few that get a look after 3 years sometimes. I mean, it's a whole different world for that.
Yeah, everyone's story is different, and people don't want to realize that. Like, even myself, like, I used to get caught in the game of comparison, or this person blew up before I did, or whatever.
Yes.
But you don't know what their life is like. You don't know what they went through to get where they are, and you don't know if they're happy. You don't. So you can only focus on keeping yourself straight and doing what you got to do.
And it's usually it takes several years for that overnight success to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the truth, man.
So we actually do have a couple people in the chat room, so I wanted to pass along a question here. We got Brian saying call a coroner, of course, giving a shout out to you. Jason's asking, since we're talking about kind of dreams in the future here, who is your dream opponent? Let's throw that out there for the moment here.
I'm going to be completely honest with you. When I get asked that, I typically make it up because I don't.
I think it's just like, what is my dream opponent? If you're just like, tomorrow, if I had my opponent, who would that be now, right?
It's never been like that for me. I just want to wrestle guys that are good and want to have good matches. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to wrestle a high flyer, a big man, a luchador. I just want to enjoy every aspect of it. It's never really been for me.
And you've had such a variety too.
Yeah.
I mean, between opponents I've seen you against, it's from that to tagging with Hornswoggle of all people.
Yeah,
right?
it's been all over the place.
I mean, that's got to be. I mean, growing up, getting into wrestling, I mean, it's just like my partner's going to be Hornswoggle.
Yeah,
that guy that I watched on TV how many times, right?
Yeah, I would have never thought that. And then when we had the 6-man tag with Cowboy Bob Orton, I would have never thought that would have happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a little. I mean, it is an interesting thing. Is it with indie wrestling is even filming on my like 2 years in, being like I'm filming $1 Million Man do $1 Million Man things.
Yeah.
Like there's a cool vibe to that you can be right next to, right?
Yeah.
So, Brohemus says he's the dream opponent out there.
What's up, Brohemus?
Brohemus hanging out here. What's
my
up?
Guy.
He was just on the Wrestling Mayhem show this past week, hanging out with us on Mayhem Mania. So tell me a little bit more about there was some great stuff I read in the article, and I see this at the shows too. You talked about being a positive influence and kind of what happens at your t-shirt booth. You have a lot of great conversations.
Yeah, I run into a lot of kids, and it's funny because growing up I was always afraid of kids, but they always liked me because I was tall, so they would try swing on my arms and stuff like that. But just seeing even when I did Monday Vibes back in the day,
I remember that.
Yeah, it didn't get thousands of views and stuff like that, but I would still every now and then get somebody that messaged me hey, I tried a cold shower today and I feel really good, or hey, this worked out for me. I just want you to know I appreciate it. So when you know that you are making a difference, that's the most fulfilling thing for me. So when these kids come up to buy my merch and stuff like that, I want to make sure that although there's different aspects of wrestling where I need to be more adult oriented at times and whatnot, I still want to be able to be someone that these kids can look at and appreciate them, and that the parents will be happy if they say hey, Pretty Boy Smooth's my role model or something like that. I even get pictures of kids that are showing me when they win wrestling tournaments, and I didn't even wrestle in high school and in middle school or anything like that. And then I remember vividly I like to go to the movies a lot by myself. That's kind of my peace time, you could say. And I was having a really bad day, and I had just I was going to the movies. Like my shoes were muddy. You know how Erie is, so I'm not looking like myself. And like these kids just run up to me because they know who I am, and they just start talking to me and stuff. And it changed my mood instantly. And then it made me realize, like, hey, like somebody's always watching me. I'm under that telescope, and this is the profession I chose, so I'm always going to be under that telescope. So I might as well just enjoy it and do things the right way.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Some great things going on there. So Dutters was worried. Of course, we're all buddies with Dutters here.
Yeah.
She's done an episode of this about social media. So she left me some questions because she was worried I wasn't going to have enough questions for you today. So I promised her I'd ask a couple of them while we have you here. So she says, and you already answered the one because she was talking about that struggling about being a badass and edgy and working on that and still being a role model at that point. I mean, you can kind of be an edgy role model at some point, right?
Well, yeah, because I feel like the world right now just wants more authenticity. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody is perfect. I'll never pretend that I am perfect.
And the social media kind of lends to that too.
Yeah, especially Twitter, because like I tried to be very 2006 Fed guy with it. You know, I thought it was black and white, but it's not. And in this world, like the rules apply till they don't. And that demographic of wrestling fans is like 18 to 35. And those guys like car crashes, not smooth rides. So it's just a matter of knowing how to win the game without fully playing it, per se. Yeah. So I'm kind of just being my authentic self and hoping that works out for the best.
You just have your car crashes in the ring.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and I'm very selective with the things I do.
And that's one thing. You really lend to very visual things. I mean, the image I threw together real quick for this interview.
Oh yeah, it was awesome.
It was a great one where you had 4 guys on you in the Rumble up there in Erie, and just kind of blew them all up, and everybody's in a blur. You're in there, like, I mean, there's I'm always looking for those gifs and those imageries when I'm doing the editing.
I'm gonna give you credit because that might be a shirt one day.
What?
I might have to make that into a shirt.
Oh, just
that image is awesome.
Now we need you, because I know one thread that came up, and I saw this on Twitter. It was like you were somebody saying about you powering up Saiyan style, and then Daniel Eads, who comes out in Dragon Ball gear, was completely doing the same thing earlier that night.
Yeah, I'd be making jokes about it, but Keith Lee got that. He's the Super Saiyan God, he calls himself.
Oh, geez, yes.
Like that. Yeah,
he's a real life damn Saiyan.
Yeah, he got
stuff
that.
He's doing down there.
He got that, man.
So he's definitely over 9,000, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Dutters asks, I think this is a fellow tall person question. What's it like to spend so much time in a car?
Depends on the car you have.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, I'm lucky. Both my cars have been comfortable. Like my Chrysler 300, I had a lot of space in. My Sonata actually has a lot of space in it. And I've slept in that car a few times.
Jeez.
The heating works. It's great, honestly. But when I'm driving back from St. Louis or Tennessee, it's kind of strenuous. But, it's just paying your dues, I guess. It's part of the game. And at some point, those rides are going to turn into flights. So
that's right. That's right.
That's the plan. Hopefully, I get leg room, get the exit seat maybe or something like that.
Oh, yeah, that's the game. Trust me, that's the game. As Lassie asked in the chat room, they said, you got any plans for going down to WrestleMania weekend in Florida? I know that, hey, everybody's going down there, finding a spot down there.
Yeah, I'm down there. I'm booked for 2 shows, definitely. I'm doing For the Culture with Game Changer Wrestling.
Nice.
It's, I believe, Friday at 11 a.m. that week. And I'm doing...
Wait, have you ever done a wrestling show that early?
No.
At least you're not like there's like a...
I've done a 2 p.m. but never 11.
2 p.m. Okay, yeah. All right.
But there's so much running down there that like you got to get the right slots when you can.
Oh, absolutely.
And then AIW runs the midnight before that. Or
By the way, Thunder in Paradise, I really appreciate it as a show name down there.
Hey, John Thorne comes up with the best ideas, man. He comes up with the stuff, man.
I love it.
He does. He just booked Ice Train for it, and when people find out who he's wrestling, they're gonna be excited. It's gonna be dope. And then I'm booked for the Gray Sweatpants Battle Royal.
Yes, yes. What is this? Where did this come from?
Oh God, I gotta find the right words for this. This is one of those blur the line moments.
Okay.
So I post a lot of pictures. Shirtless. Some people call them thirst traps or whatever. And there's a wrestler, her name is Faye Jackson, and she's very outspoken with her, I don't know, her her sexuality, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know what word to use for that. Like she's very, and then she made a joke about wanting a Royal Rumble style match with guys wearing gray sweatpants. So, I mean, if you don't get the analogy with that, I don't think it's my place to tell you.
No. Go Google it.
Yeah, go Google it. So anyway, a promoter reaches out to her and actually has like a venue and stuff, and like she books the show, like it's actually happening. And I was making jokes with one of the fans I'm friends with that she does like photography for Limitless Wrestling and stuff. And a video came up of me like jumping rope back in the day. It was actually like a 2-year-old video, but I just happened to not be wearing like compression shorts, so I'm like, whatever. And she posts the video on Twitter, and it gets like 5,000 views. And then Fake capitalizes on this. It just says I'm booked for the show. And I'm just confused because like I could post regular wrestling content and nothing happens. I'll get like 400 views, but this comes out and it just blows up. So it's just,
This is a teachable moment.
Yeah, about crash courses and smooth rides. So, I mean, if it leads to a booking and helps me with my career, I'm not going to say no, it is what it is.
It is. I think the fun thing about Mania is hearing, okay, what kind of crazy shows are like Effie's Big Gay Bash is happening, or this like Pancakes and Body Slams or something is another show I've seen, or whatever the hell Blackcraft did last year. I mean, there's just like that wild, like what kind of messed up. Joey Janela's Spring Break is a classic example, and it's kind of interesting. And now you're part of one of those hopefully classic moments from the outside of WrestleMania experience.
Well, I mean, to Faye's credit, like she is always going to be herself, and people respect her for her authenticity. And I just love the fact that she was able to make something big come out of that, like created an event out of it that like got some people bookings that may have not had bookings down there. You know what I'm saying? So overall, it's great. And she's donating money to Planned Parenthood.
Nice.
So I'm with it. Like, it's cool. Like,
Have you been a part of the WrestleMania weekend situation?
I've wrestled for last year. I did AIW when I had the Absolute Championship.
That was their first year down there, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did that, and I did
New York.
Yeah, and I got to see my family, which was dope.
Nice.
So I did that, and I had a little spot at Black Label.
Okay.
And that was pretty much it. So I was there, but I wasn't. But this year, I'm going to be down there with everybody, and it's away from like everyone else. So like, I have to be part of the festivities or whatever may have you. So it should be cool.
That's awesome. That's awesome. It is a cool thing that happens there. And I love that it's kind of spreading to, like, it seems like Royal Rumble's becoming a micro version of that, the Summer Slams, the Survivor Series weekends and everything. So, hey, it's a lot of opportunity to showcase, like, look at all this indie wrestling.
Absolutely.
If you showed up for Roman Reigns, oh, hey, there's this over here. And it's just, I think I was there for when it started with WrestleCon at like 29, and to see it grow so big, and WWE doesn't stomp on it. That's good too.
Like some careers are made down there.
Oh, absolutely.
Like when PCL wrestled Walter, that was the first time I had seen him, and it like he blew up after that. So it's definitely worth it.
Absolutely. Let's see. Dutters, this is apparently an ongoing thing. She wants me to ask every wrestler they have on if they're part of MV Young's Polycult now.
Honestly,
I need to get him on to talk about that.
Well, yeah, because I don't know much about him. Like, I recently just met him. He seems like a cool dude.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know how I feel about cults, man. Like,
I don't think he's using the ring light right. I'm having a problem with that. I'm like, I shouldn't see the ring light, right? And then he just like,
I thought he was doing like a little Zoolander thing.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Lee Moriarty thought it was a Tron disc.
But I'm sorry, I don't listen to nothing that Lee says. Lee does not know what he's talking about. Lee is terrible. Lee actually thought that the PB stood for peanut butter, and as a dude that listens to hip hop music and gets all the nicknames I don't understand, so Lee's new name is Lemon. His name is Lemon. That's what we call him from now.
I understand me not getting that, but
yeah. And he's staying with me in Tampa.
Yeah.
So just know I'm about to troll his ass
Oh
the
my
entire
God. Can we
week.
just like film a reality show around
100%.
YouTube? Please.
100%.
Just we'll send someone.
He's going to be on TikTok and everything.
Oh, jeez.
He has no choice.
No. Oh, jeez. He had a hell of a weekend, too.
Yeah.
But awesome. Hey, PB, so tell me, anybody interested in what's going on, where, other than WrestleMania weekend we talked about, where are you generally showing up in the near future?
I have Revenge coming up March 28th. I have Rise Wrestling March 7th, and I think the 22nd. Like he's running 2 shows.
Yeah.
Next weekend, I'm in Cleveland, Ohio for AIW.
Mm-hmm.
Razor Ramon's going to be there, so it's going to be a big event. I got some stuff coming up in Indiana that I can announce when it comes up and things like that.
Good. So you're getting around a good bit.
Yeah, making my rounds.
Awesome. And where can people find you online?
The Twitter is at PB_fresh2death, the number 2. My Instagram is PB_smooth. That's where you can find all my thirst traps and stuff like that. And
the Vibes videos are still up there, right? So,
like I did like 1 year Monday Vibes, and then I did the scholarship this year. So like I'm going to keep switching things up, see what works best.
Nice.
And yeah, those are the main. I mean, I have Facebook, PB Smooth, but those are pretty much the main things I have. And then there's 2 Smooth TV, my YouTube channel, but I gotta make some updates to that.
There you go. I know we were talking about your video editor a little bit before the show.
Oh yeah, we got to work on that.
We'll work on that. We'll work on that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Hey, it's always great to see. That's the one thing I've loved in the last couple of years is seeing so much positivity in professional wrestling. Like, I don't know what the thing is that has triggered this, but here in Pittsburgh and abroad, it just seems like it's exploded and people are done with the negative shit. And I love this stuff. And thank you for being a part of that.
Thank you, and happy Black History Month.
There you go. There you go. I think we do have you featured on the channel a little bit, so stay tuned for that on Indie Wrestling US YouTube and Facebook too.
Sweet.
So,
thank you.
Thank you so much. Again, follow PB Smooth, doing some great things up there. And we have a news article over on PittsburghWrestling.com linked from that Go Erie article talking more about what's going on.
PB provides scholarship.
There you go. And is there anybody can help out or donate to that or anything?
Yeah, you can donate to it. Give me 1 second. I can bring it up.
We can throw the link in the.
Oh yeah. So if you go on the Mercyhurst website, there's a link to give, and then when you hit other, you type in like the scholarship name. Mm-hmm. It's called the PB Provides Scholarship Fund. You can donate whatever you want. 100% of the money goes there. I don't see any of it. I don't ask what you donate because, quite frankly, it's not my business. This is for somebody that needs it to go to school and to help them in that department, which is why I never did any shirts or asked to do any fundraising or anything like that. So if you want to donate, you can. If not, just share the link. Maybe somebody else will. And thanks for all the support.
All right. Thanks a lot, PB Smooth. And thank you guys for tuning in here. Please, if you're just catching this, subscribe. You can find Indie Mayhem Show or the Wrestling Mayhem Show super feed over on your iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts so you don't miss an episode of these interviews and the shows that we're doing with the Wrestling Mayhem Show. We'll see you guys next time. Please support indie wrestling and please support PB Scholarship.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, chatters, for tuning in here. I know we got a over on Facebook here. What's up, Dan? Bro says Apex of Love, by the way. I didn't want to bring that up on the show officially, but I guess we already have that in the works, whether Lee wants it or not.
Oh, man.
So I've already volunteered to film that for him. So let's see. Anything else going on out there? Had some shout outs. John McChesney just popped in. John, we just finished the interview, sorry, but we give you so. All right, thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you guys next time. We have nothing wrestling streaming until Monday night after Raw, so keep an eye on the Wrestling Mayhem Show Facebook page for that, when I usually just yell at Mike about what we think about Raw booking and Legos, and we'll probably talk about, I don't know, comic books or something instead of wrestling. Let's be honest. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks a lot.